Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's program where anything is up for discussion. You got me, Jeff, alongside the lovely Shannon.
Hi. How you doing?
Good. As soon as you turn your volume off.
Sorry.
Echo. That was me last week.
Tell me before the show starts.
That was me last week. And then you tell me, you don't have to remind me of that stuff. I'm not a rookie. I know what the hell I'm doing.
Well, tonight you were supposed to remind me.
All right, we'll see how that works. Damned if you do and damned if you don't.
So I matched the set today.
You do. You're all pumpkined out.
Yeah.
It's 'tis the season, of course. Halloween is here. And
pumpkin spice jacket.
Oh, pumpkin spice jacket.
To go with the pumpkin spice latte.
Pumpkin spice latte.
Pumpkin spice pie.
And what's
the pumpkin
how about the
spice?
How about the apple cider, mulled apple cider with the rum?
I should make a cupcake like that. Mulled apple cider with rum.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Speaking of things over there at Shane Cakes, how's it going with the new expansion over there?
It's going. Place is big. Lots more to eat. So it's going. It's all done. Thank God. No more dust. And lots more to do. We've been doing really well with the canvas decorating parties upstairs in the classroom. And the birthday parties are picking up, which is awesome. And the amount of paninis going out the door is awesome. So
you got a lot more to offer. You can get lunch there now. You can get a panini. You can get a breakfast panini. I'll tell you, I've fallen in love with the panini. I was never a big panini guy.
I don't think you ever had one in our 13 years of being together. I never remember you ordering a panini anywhere.
I love the bread. I love the way
it's all about the bread. You
really
have to have
is.
the right bread.
It's like the pizza with the toppings. It's definitely all about the bread.
It's all about the bread. It's the texture's amazing. The things are huge. Yeah, you get a really good deal.
Cool.
So, the soups are picking up. I mean, it's getting really cold, as you know. So.
Oh, yeah. Like last week it was in the 70s, and now it's like in the 40s and 30s.
It's dropping down to the 30s. I mean, all of the plants outside have just completely died in one night. Gone. Black. Decayed with death. Gone. That kind of sucks.
So how's the new cupcake decorating bar thing going? That's kind of unique.
People are doing it. You can fill and top your own cupcakes, as many toppings as you want. Cool. You can stuff 46,000 M&Ms inside of it. I don't care. It's all one flat rate.
So it's like you go to those froyo places, those frozen yogurt places, and you could do the same thing to like a blank cupcake.
Yeah, you spend $7 on one thing of ice cream because we don't care.
Oh hell yeah.
You actually get a better deal making your own cupcakes.
$7, that's usually light.
That's just for one person.
$7's on the light side, I'll tell you. It's usually upwards of $7.
I think that I've seen you go upwards of $7, almost $8.
Oh yeah,
so
there's no problem.
That's easy for one person to do.
When it's by the gram, by the weight, I got no problem putting on that extra marshmallow topping.
Yeah, so you can feed 6 people with unlimited toppings and fillings for the price of 2 people. For froyo. So. It's good. It's all good. It's nice to have something that's not offered anywhere else in town. So it's just fun. I love watching the kids. They stand up on the chairs. So they can see all the toppings. They're all looking in like, I want that. I want that. They squirting their caramel on, and it's awesome.
Nice.
I'm very lucky to have all that. So.
And it looks like Kuzo and I are going to go for breakfast and coffee there.
Do we know Kuzo?
Yeah. That's Mike.
Oh, why do I keep asking you that?
Yeah, you do every time.
Mike, I've got to remember who you are. I just know who you. I know you as Mike. No, I got to get used to that nickname because I was asking you that last week too, or the week before. I'm like, who's Kuzo?
Yeah, old friend.
I know. Sorry, just got to get used to that nickname.
No worries.
Yes, Kuzo, paninis, and breakfast sandwiches, whatever you want to come by for.
Awesome.
It's all good. So how's your week been?
I had a pretty cool week. I got to meet one of my childhood icons this week. Happen to be taping this Saturday.
Are any of them still alive?
Yeah. Well, thanks, Shannon. You trying to allude to the fact that I'm ancient or what? What the hell's wrong with you?
Who might that be?
Well, as a kid growing up, first of all, I happen to be working with my good friend Dennis Worth, who is a comedian in the local area, does a ton of stuff for charity. Good guy, good all-around guy. And happened to be working on his show, and he booked one of my childhood icons from Good Times, talking about Jimmy J.J. Dynamite Walker. Now, I will tell you, and I'll say this on my show, it was a little tough at first to find the skinny J.J. Walker inside of the old big, fat, flat back black guy that showed up. But I'll tell you, once he smiled, once he got the smile going, come on, you can see that picture and you can see Jimmy J.J. Walker in that picture. It's the smile. The rest of it you got to look hard for. But and he was a funny guy. I will tell you, he had us rolling from start to finish. He was just an absolute funny guy. And good for the show. He did a good job the week after you did. And Dennis had a really, really good production with him. So It was kind of cool, though. I mean, it was one of those shows like I had Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Gilligan's Island, Happy Days, and Good Times. I mean, those are my three staples growing up as a kid. And anybody my age, those are pretty much the three. And it was because, they didn't use all the vulgar language back then, Shane. It was kept clean, but they still made you laugh your ass off. And it was funny, and it was, it was sexy, and it was everything that you have in today's world, but without all the vulgarity. Sure. They had their moments. Yeah.
They just talked about love. Then pot smoking.
Oh, and All in the Family.
Music.
All in the Family was my fourth. Sorry. You got Gilligan's Island, Happy Days, Good Times, maybe the Jeffersons, but All in the Family. Can't forget about Archie Bunker. You never watched any of that crap, did you?
No. I'm a whole different generation. I'm so sorry. I grew up on Fraggle Rock and...
oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, 90s stuff.
Oh, what was that other some early 90s, 80s
Did you get to watch Zoom as a kid?
Barely remember Zoom. I was really young. And then I used to watch like a lot of mystery TV shows, like the original Doctor Who I was hooked on.
Oh, yeah.
The original guy, the hideous looking one with the bad teeth.
Who didn't like that?
Then again, all English people look like that. So
you're picking all the Brits
Mysteries of the Unknown, I think, was a good one I used to watch as a kid. It used to give me all kinds of great nightmares.
Come on, Creature Double Feature.
Creature Double Feature. It always featured some bad, Godzilla, like claymation thing. It was so bad. But we watched it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like what we did on Friday nights. It was like Creature Double Feature. Of course. We sat on the couch eating
Watched
popcorn.
Doritos or whatever.
It was kind of cool to hang with your parents that time. We don't do that anymore.
No, we don't do that. That's not cool. Plus, you can watch anything you want online now anyway. So.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool you got to meet Jimmy Walker. How was he in person?
He was awesome. He's a nice guy. I mean, started out, it was like, okay, well, he's staying at the 4 Points, and Dennis was picking him up. And I noticed he had like a bag of lemons and two cans of pop and 3 candy bars. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Welch's grape juice I saw in the...
That's what it was.
Welch's grape juice there.
Not soda pop. I take that back.
No, it was just really fruit drinks.
Yeah, fruit drinks and lemons and
what's the lemons for?
I don't know, but everybody has their stuff in their rider.
Cleaning windows.
JJ Walker had like 58 lemons in a bag. That's more
Makes
lemons.
His own ice
I'll tell you what, that is more lemons than I use to make my current round of limoncello.
I know he says that he doesn't drink, but nobody requests that many lemons in their riders.
He doesn't drink anymore.
Well, what are you doing with the lemons?
Lord only knows.
Making homemade batteries in your hotel room? I mean,
bathing
come on.
with them, maybe that's how he keeps that
skin
girlish
so light,
figure and his skin so soft.
Skin.
He just rubs it in his hair. That's how he gets that.
Big friggin' mystery.
Why
JJ Walker?
You can see he goes to Gold's Gym. He works out.
I'm sure he does. I can tell by that donut around the.
You can see the T-shirt.
Yeah,
he's a regular.
Pretty sure that Gold's Gym probably gave him a free T-shirt. You're JJ Walker. Okay, here you
go. Not a participation trophy, right?
If I had a nickel for every gym sweatshirt I had. Trust me, it wasn't from going there that often that I won a prize.
I love the new commercials, too, about the participation trophies, about the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Sorry. I'm against participation trophies. I love it when the dad rips off the participation trophy and writes champs in there and jumps in the SUV. And those are NFL families, and kudos to them. At least they're doing something right.
Yeah.
Bastards.
I don't get a trophy every day I go to work. I get nothing.
From participation?
I just got to pay a bill. That's my trophy.
You get a bill in the mail.
Spend some money.
A little tax bill in the mail. There you go. F you very much.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. I know we talked about this in the past, but why are we giving out participation trophies? I mean, a trophy... The whole reason why trophies exist is because people achieved something others didn't. That's what a trophy means.
I know. And now every parent in the world thinks that my kid's got to get recognized because he's trying. Well, guess what? If you don't achieve more than the next guy, you're average. Trophies go to those that are more than average. Just like that.
Exactly.
Just like that commercial, right? Sprinkles are for winners. Right?
Sprinkles are for winners. Curry doesn't get a begging strip unless she pees or poops outside.
That's right. Nope.
And then she gets a reward. We don't give it to her before she does anything. When she pees on the couch or poops on the floor, she doesn't get a num-num. No, she only gets num-num when she's a good girl. These are secrets from the Sylvia residence, folks. Not a lot of people know this stuff. So.
Well, they do now. All right, we want to thank all of you for joining us here, not only on the mothership here, upfordiscussionlive.com, as we stream worldwide, and also on myptvonline.com, but also locally here on lemonster.tv. Check your local listings on Comcast and Verizon. And we want to remind you that this show is sponsored in part by Shancakes, and to find out more about that lovely little creature and her confectionery madness, you can go to 368 Central Street or visit them online at shanecakes.com. We also want to thank our friends over there at Sasquatch Coffee, because my day starts out every single day with a cup of Sasquatch coffee. And we want to say a big thank you to Gunnar and those guys out there for supporting us. We certainly appreciate it. And to find out more, you can go to squatchcoffee.com, and also our friends over there at the delicious restaurant in Pepperell, Massachusetts, the Italiano that is Mariano's Ristorante. Pam and the crew out there, the food is tremendous. Best food this side of Boston. And to find out more, you can go to them at marianositalian.com. And of course, our oldest and most loyal sponsor ever, our friends over at Leominster Storage Solutions. We want to thank them as they expand across the street and next to you, Shannon, on Central Street. And now you can put your vehicles in there, guys. It's that time of year. Everybody's boats are coming out of the water. The motorcycles are coming off the road. I hate to say that dreadful word, but we saw it in the air the other day.
I didn't.
The snow is coming.
I didn't see snow.
I know, but it's
coming. I
coming.
had my first snow.
Last year we had it around Thanksgiving, and then we had a little break, and then we all know what happened. But now these guys have storage to where you can put the stuff on the ground. Before, you couldn't store your car in there. Yeah, well, you couldn't put a car or a boat or anything in there because they were on the Tucker Warehouse building, and the floors weren't strong enough. But now that they have the concrete pads, you can get your stuff in there. So to find out more, guys, you can go to LevinsonStorageSolutions.com. And finally, thank all of you for joining us here in our chat room as we stream worldwide. And always where it's free, always will be free, 24/7 to watch, and to watch all the archives as well. And Shannon, you know what? One thing that pisses me off this week, to get into it, is this whole thing with Lamar Odom. You know, I know we got to talk about it because everybody's talking about it, but you know what? It pisses me off because this guy, here we have a washed-up NBA junkie, a cokehead, somebody that, you know, is now in big trouble in his life. He's getting more press than, you know, half the heroes we have out there that are protecting our country and saving lives and going into burning buildings every day. And this is your superstar, Lamar Odom, passed out at a brothel in Vegas, in the Vegas area, in VA, Shannon, in the Vegas area. And, of course, he was found unconscious, spent a few days in a coma near death. And, you know, all the news is like, oh, Lamar opened his eyes. He flickered his eyelids. He said a word. He walked 2 steps.
Yeah, who cares?
Big fat hairy deal. I mean, really. And,
I don't really care. And you know what? I was actually cheering him on when he's in a coma. I'm sorry, but it's bad to say. But
what are you cheering him into the great beyond? Do you get a burn in hell for this?
You know what? Sometimes people have a death wish, and if you're going to act like that and live that kind of lifestyle, you're asking for it. So I just kind of hoped that he had something coming. It's not bad.
The guy spent $75,000 a day for 3 solid days
on his
in a cocaine-induced party with nothing but Viagra and hookers. And here's the little lovely that found him. Isn't she beautiful? Monica Monroe. We don't know if that's her name or stage name, wherever she is. Can you say it with me? Say it with me, Shannon. Skankazoid.
Oh, is that the brothel girl that's like one of their biggest winners over there?
Yeah, and she's the one that found him passed out. She was, I guess, he was trying to have the girlfriend experience. That's what the whole thing was about. He was trying to have the girlfriend experience, and you pay $75,000 a day for that at the Bunny Ranch or whatever the hell he was doing. You know.
Why didn't you come to Leominster, Massachusetts? Because I'm the kind of girl that needs $75,000, so I would have given you. Just kidding.
Well, you know, the girlfriend experience, correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, if you're passed out with, like, cocaine and, you know, you're foaming at the mouth and you're kind of flopping around a little bit, maybe the girlfriend experience should include calling 911 and getting your ass out of there before you kill yourself.
Greg says they wouldn't have been able to close the casket with all that Viagra.
It's more than emotional.
I don't feel bad for the guy. And you know what? Of course, this is all being filmed for the Kardashians. So they actually confirmed today on WAF that...
Did they really?
The Kardashians were allowed in the hospital room with Lamar Odom, whatever his name, Odom.
Yeah.
And his own children weren't allowed in the room. But the Kardashians were because they're in there filming. And there was Khloe, oh, I love you. Please be well. And patting him on the head. Okay, first of all, they're estranged. Jeff, I'm just going to say this and make this clear right now if the news discovers that you were found passed out from a drug overdose in a brothel, After taking Viagra and more drugs than you know how to pronounce with hookers,
don't forget about all the hookers.
Dead, and don't expect me to be in your hotel room going, "I love you," and patting your head.
Yeah, but
especially on TV.
You're ready to be the girlfriend for $75,000. Maybe they'll kick you $1.2 million just to like be that person. You'd do it in a heartbeat, right?
No.
1.2 million wouldn't buy you a little sympathy, for old Jeff laying in the brothel with a needle in my arm and a hooker strapped to the end of my.
So we have someone in the chat room saying that we're focusing so much on this crap when somebody was shot in a Texas stadium while people were cheering him on. What happened? This is all news to me. Well,
this was after, I believe they're talking about after the Dallas Cowboys game with the Patriots. There was a gentleman, I believe, that was shot in the parking lot. If that's what they're talking about. Yeah, I think that's
after the Cowboys game.
After the Cowboys game.
I haven't been able to watch much news. This is sick.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. After the New England Patriots played the Dallas Cowboys, there was somebody in the parking lot, I believe, that was shot. And I think they died a few days later.
That's nice.
Yeah, they actually did really? Die a few days later. So it's terrible, absolutely terrible.
It's disgusting. This whole guy brothel overdose. Why are we tracking his progress? I mean, why is this news? I got to go back to this because, who effing cares?
I know.
Because he's a Kardashian member of the family.
Well, to me,
this is big news.
I brought it up because it goes to show you how bad the mainstream media just wants to program you and brainwash you into watching and thinking and belonging to whatever little, party they want you to. That's it. It's all about the popularity and all about the Kardashians, and they could do no wrong. And hell, what was that joke you saw on there the other day about how the Kardashians?
Okay, so the Kardashians turned Lamar into a crackhead, and Bruce Jenner into a woman, and Scott Disick into an alcoholic. So the world is waiting to see what Kanye West is going to be soon. We're all waiting for Kanye West.
Well, he's already an asshole, so they can't turn him into anything else than that. I don't know. What do you think? Hey, speaking of which, what do you guys think about this the city in the clouds that everybody's talking about? Is this thing real? Did you find out, or is it a hoax? I heard it was a hoax. Did you find it out?
I don't know, because some people are saying that this is a weather phenomenon, like a refraction between the raindrops and the sunlight. But I thought that was called a friggin' rainbow.
Yeah.
Like, what is this refraction from ancient city shit in the sky about? I don't understand that.
And in perfect symmetrical
this rare
form.
phenomenon, and why is this only happening in China and nowhere else in the world?
I know.
Why haven't we seen this in the United States? Like, if I look up in the sky and I see a reflection of an ancient city, I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, that's like one of those farniente or whatever they called it, farmiga. I don't know. There was a name for it, but I don't understand this whole phenomenon that the scientists are calling it. I don't understand. And that doesn't look like the skyline from China. It looks like, it's very different. So somebody said in the chat, going back and forth, that it was a hoax, but I'm trying to get somebody to post a link to the hoax. So it's either this weatherman phenomenon that they're calling it, or it's a hoax. Like, which is it? It's I don't understand. So there's been few of these sightings, and I guess people from all over the country are seeing the same thing. They're taking videos of it with their phones. So people...
Yep. Yeah. All I've seen is that one angle. I haven't seen any other angles in that. And I'm going to go with hoax. If that's real, if that's up in the sky and that looks like a skyline of some sort... I'm not buying reflection of raindrops or anything.
Well, it's a rainbow,
that.
So
that's not a rainbow.
That's a refraction of raindrops. It's supposed to be cold air pressure and hot air pressure creates this sort of mirage. But the mirage would be something that you would imagine, off the hood of your car or the pavement. It's all distorted looking and wavy gravy, like mirage. This is not a mirage. Right. This is not matrixing. It's
very clear and concise.
This is not a reflection of what's underneath it by any means. Not even close. So it's just weird. And Robin in the chat is going to look into it because
let's find out.
She does think that she agrees with me that it does look old. It looks old, Babylonian times.
Humor me this for a second. If by chance they find out that this is not a hoax, and this is actually something
End of the world.
They can't figure out what it is. Can you imagine, where people are going to go with this? Is there really a city in the sky? Maybe it's just like a veil or something. I don't
think it's a city in the sky, but the Bible always predicted that, or there's always been modern day predictions coming from modern day prophets that do state that look to the skies for a miracle. And this has been said since I was a kid, supposedly from the Blessed Virgin Mary, that there's something's going to happen soon, and look to the sky for the miracle. Now, I'm not getting into all that hoopla with religion and is it really, really, really that stuff, but I'm just saying, people have predicted. Yeah, that didn't look obvious from your shot right there at all. Hi.
I'm just going to overreach you. There we go. All right.
But, it's...
That's how you can tell this is live.
I hate when people try to explain things like, oh, yeah, that's just a mirage and it's a rare phenomenon with the weather. Like, yeah, okay, just like those massive horns that are in the sky. You've heard about that phenomenon?
Sure.
People can hear like, roar, and nobody knows where it's coming from. Nobody has an explanation for it. It's just this massive noises coming from all over the world. The same noises are appearing from all over the world.
All right, it looks like Robin's got a Daily Star UK. Why don't you check that out, Shannon? Let me know if it's a hoax or not. I'm going to go with hoax, because if that's not a hoax, that is truly unbelievable. I mean, that's quite the phenomenon. And if you look at the geometry of that, there's very distinct buildings with windows and all that stuff. I mean, it doesn't look like anything that the sky could produce.
Yeah, and there's this massive saucer coming out of the sky, and people are trying to say like these were cloud formations. I think we need to wake up and smell the coffee here, because I'm not buying all these cloud formation theories. I've always believed in aliens and UFOs, and I've seen some weird things. I don't know if these photos in China are a hoax or not. I mean, that's the hard part is,
you might have got snoped again.
If that's just one photo. But the thing is, though, this new phenomenon with this refraction of a city in the sky, this is coming from thousands of people with several different videos from different angles from different people. So that's something you got to pay attention to.
They were probably all drinking the same sake.
Chuck says L. Ron Hubbard was right. Okay, Chuck.
That's true.
Oh, we Mormon now.
All right.
Oh, no, that's Scientologist.
That's true.
That's Scientologist. So we're going to have aliens coming out of volcanoes.
Maybe that's what Tom Cruise was trying to get away from after left Scientology.
Yeah, we could never be Scientologists. No. We don't have enough money.
We're too cheap to be saved. We're too poor to be saved.
We can't even afford to be Catholic.
We can't even afford to be anything anymore. Can't even afford shit.
Yeah, so all this stuff in the sky, I don't know what it is. I mean, people surely can't be coming to me for opinions, or you, not the scientists, but I just hope that somebody is actually going on this and looking into it, because, it's almost stuff you can't make up. Like, why would you put an ancient old city skyline in China? Like,
I'll tell you one thing right now. If this is somehow connected to the new Star Wars movie,
I know, right?
I'm going to be pissed. It's like the publicity stuff.
It's bad. The Star Wars, they were saying that people were trying to buy tickets to the movie, and they've crashed this major website over Star Wars. And
it's crazy.
I was writing for the show, and I could hear the news on in the background. People were crying, like original cast members of the original movie were watching it, and they showed their reaction to their characters, and they were crying and screaming, and they weren't happy, whatever it was.
Well, you got to remember, Star Wars is more than a cult following. I mean, that's a religion to a lot of people. I mean, they have huge conventions. It's been like decades and decades of this huge
I couldn't
following.
Latch on any of that. Sorry. But we have lots of friends that do latch on to that.
Yes,
so we can't be knocking it. But it is a cult, you're right. And I just can't believe that the Star Wars comeback is just, it's already probably grossing more money than any film ever made, and it hasn't even aired yet.
My problem is they keep remaking and new trilogies and all this crap. Can't they come up with something new? Really? Like just once? Can we come up with a new idea?
How many different Star Wars movies can we come up with?
They're even remaking Ghostbusters, for God's sake.
I know, and they use an all-chick cast. That's a bad move.
You think?
I'm sorry, but that's just a bad move.
Why, because they didn't cast you?
You know what? They could have had... Sorry, girlfriend. Could have been there if I wanted to. I did get the casting call, but...
Oh, sure.
They should have at least casted... made it look like they were children of the original cast members, and the children were, like, messing around with a Ouija board or something, and they opened up this... portal to hell, and all the stuff comes through, and then the old dad's like, we're not getting back out there again, this isn't happening, and then all of a sudden they start putting on the proton packs again, and that would have been a great movie.
I'll tell you, like, that is to you what this remake is to me. Roadhouse. They are remaking Roadhouse.
You're joking.
No, they're remaking Roadhouse, and they're supposed to have a chick. I think it's that Ronda Rouse or whatever her name is, chick, supposed to be playing the part of Dalton. But to me, if you're remaking it, that's stupid. Why couldn't you have it be Roadhouse, like Dalton's daughter or something? Just keep it going.
Oh, where'd you get that idea? Because I just said the kids of the Ghostbuster guys. Now all of a sudden we're doing Dalton's daughter.
No. But it would have, if you're going to have a girl play the main character in Roadhouse, poor Patrick Swayze's got to be rolling over in his grave. You can't replace Patrick Swayze. You can't replace Dalton. No. Roadhouse. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, he's rolling around in his grave. All right, he's been doing that a while.
Well, yeah. Well, it is Halloween. There's a lot rolling around in the graves here around Halloween, and there's also you got a couple of little giveaways this month. We promised some giveaways. It's school's in session, and you got a couple of books to give away.
Christy Peterson Schoonover's book, Skeletons in the Swimming Hole, Tales from Haunted Disney World, guys.
Oh, cool.
We have 2 copies of this. One of them is a wrapped copy with extra goodies inside because the author handed it to me herself, and I didn't keep it. So we're going to be giving it away to you.
Okay.
We are going to be doing our giveaway, I'd say, in another 10, 15 minutes?
Sure. Yeah, we'll get it away.
Keep you guys hanging on. At least you get some free stuff, and then you can leave. I'm kidding. We'll try to think of a clever way to give 2 books away. Skeletons in the Swimming Hole, Tales from Haunted Disney World. Robin, I think this is something that Logan might want.
There you go.
Maybe. It's got large type. It looks like something cool. So we're going to have a giveaway, guys. Stay tuned. Do not go anywhere.
All right. And before we do that, we're going to step out for just a bit. And when we come back, we are going to introduce our little love, our little Shannon, with Who Does That, who's going to be bringing it to you as only she can.
Squee.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Up for discussion with Jeff and Shannon Sylvia. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Up for Discussion Live is brought to you in part by Lemonster Storage Solutions, Sasquatch Coffee, Mariano's Restaurante.
And now back to Up for Discussion right here on Pararock TV.
Oh yeah, when you hear that music, it can only mean one thing. It's that segment of the program when Shannon Sylvia asks, who does that? And now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Shannon Sylvia.
All right. First of all, I want to say a special hello to some of our guests in the chat room. I don't think we've ever seen before, but we haven't seen in quite some time. Sid and Mary out there in California. Yeah. Sid Schultz and the sweet Mary that goes along with them. So, guys, hello to you, and thank you for tuning in. My friends who I warned about going to Jamaica.
And also, happy birthday to Mike Cooley, by the way.
Oh, Mike, I told him that.
Day. Okay.
Yeah, I told our friends not to go to Jamaica. Something bad would happen to them. Something very bad happened to Sid and Mary.
Oh, yeah,
they did not heed my warnings.
That's right. You gave me your story.
Psychic powers.
You were ripped off before you even reached the hotel when you got to Jamaica.
I was ripped off before we even reached the hotel.
So I love it.
It can happen out there. So brought to you by Don't Go to Jamaica.
Left with nothing but a bikini and a smile.
And a towel. And no, not even shoes. They took my shoes.
Wow.
Took everything.
But at least you had a cocktail in
I had a Red Stripe beer, and it's all because of that. 56 cents I spent on that Red Stripe beer. And the second I turned my back, all shit hit the fan.
Oh, boy.
So, 3 stories brought to you by true stories that I found on the internet after some extensive research. So these are all true. According to UPI, in Washington, D.C., a Pennsylvania congressman said he swiped Pope Francis's abandoned glass of water while the guy was in town, following his address to Congress, and sipped on it with his wife and staffers.
Okay.
God got themselves a little bit of the holy water.
Holy water going on.
Even though they were thieves. U.S. Representative
does that cancel it out?
It's nullified right there, yeah. It just nullifies the water. It's just nothing. He's going to end up getting cancer or something.
Burning in hell.
U.S. Rep. Brady, Democrat of Philadelphia, said he watches Pope Francis sip from the water glass 3 times. It's very symbolic, too, like the Trinity.
The Trinity of sipping.
During his Thursday address to a joint meeting of Congress, as we all heard, it was a couple Thursdays ago, and he made his way to the lectern to take a cup once the pontiff finished his remarks and left the water behind. Congressman is a Catholic and has immense respect for the Holy Father. Brady's chief of staff told ABC News he took the glass back to his office where he sipped it with his wife Deborah and 2 staffers. How many people do you
know? All the way back to his office?
That was one holy ass glass of water right there.
I guess so.
How many people do you know that drink out of the same glass as the Pope? Brady asks.
The
Pope didn't have a cold. He didn't have the same virus as the Pope did. Could you imagine? Like Pope virus inside of you.
Yeah, really.
Representative said he invited U.S. Senator Bob Casey into his office, and Casey brought his wife and mother to dip their fingers in the glass.
Now, Jesus.
Now
was this before or after they drank?
Right. He poured the rest of the water in a bottle he plans to use to bless his 4 grandchildren.
Really?
So now water glasses from the Pope are officially blessed. He said he's keeping the glass in a paper bag so that he can have police fingerprint it and confirm its authenticity. So U.S. police are going to have the Pope's fingerprint on file, I'm sure.
On whose taxpayers' money here?
And they're busy. They're pretty busy right now, he said.
Okay.
Who does that?
Now, we got Pope backwash and all that right there.
I wonder if it's up on eBay. Pope glass. How much do you think that would fetch?
What, the Pope water?
The Pope glass.
The Pope glass? I don't know. You never know. These things are crazy. They really are. Yeah.
Poor Pope. He's just like, I was just thirsty.
Poor
guy can't go anywhere.
I hope that they didn't have anything in his teeth when he was drinking, because sometimes stuff comes out of your teeth.
Well, what's next? Is this guy going to be stalking the Pope in the bathroom, getting stuff out of the urinal cake? The Pope peed on this. Urinal cake goes up on eBay. Pope's DNA.
The Pope water. Oh. He's going to follow right to the end.
Keep drinking. All right. Second story comes out of L.A. That's not California. Yes, it is.
It is.
It's not Canadian. A federal judge in California has declared Warner Music's Happy Birthday to You copyright now invalid, putting the ever-present song into the public domain, as if we didn't already think it was, Jeff.
You can't
Every time we sang Happy Birthday, we were in copyright violation. They could track us down and sue the pants off of us.
Do you realize that that's why most restaurants sing that stupid happy birthday from all of us to you? Because they can't sing Happy Birthday. Now they can.
It makes sense now.
Now they can.
Yeah.
Imagine the Cold Stone Creamery people now. They got to be out of their mind.
Oh my God! Heaven forbid! After you friggin' spend $10 making my ice cream cone, friggin' serve it to me. Oh my God! I don't need to watch them slapping their thighs and their knees and hoedowing over an ice cream cone. I just want to eat it. I want it in my mouth.
That is the worst thing about Cold Stone Creamery. If you're not prepared for a Disney production while you get your ice cream, you're going to be pissed. There was some lady that got pissed.
We watched the lady get pissed. She wanted her ice cream. She wanted to get the hell out of there. They were making her ice cream. They broke out into song and dance in the middle of it, and she's just standing at the cash register turning red. Like a little baby was pooping in their diaper. She's just getting redder and redder. I'm like, this isn't good. This isn't going to be good.
She was breathing heavy, too.
Probably had a newborn in the car. It was 98 degrees. She's probably thinking I shouldn't even be in here.
2 minutes more of this song and my kid's going to be dead.
So bad.
Terrible.
The U.S. District Judge George King ruled in favor of the plaintiffs, a group of independent filmmakers who filed suit against Warner Music, which has collected up to $50 million in fees for the birthday song.
Really?
Since it purchased the copyright in 1988.
Really?
$50 million they've collected because people were using it.
Who does that?
The evidence presented in the case indicated that sisters Patty and Mildred Hill did not try to obtain federal copyright protection when they wrote the song in 1889. Copyright on the song was not filed until 1935, when the song was already in public domain. Plaintiffs recently bought right to a 1922 songbook containing Happy Birthday with no mention of a copyright.
So all they were was like Johnny on the spot. They didn't make it up. They just stole it from somebody else and copyrighted it.
They just decided to copyright it. They're like, yeah, we're going to copyright it.
$50 million.
That's kind of like Dynamite, Jeff. Poor man can't say dynamite anymore.
I know. True story. Poor J.J. Walker. Something happened with the ex-wife because he can't use the word dynamite anymore.
I can't believe a human being can't say the word dynamite anymore. I don't understand that. I really don't.
Shannon, it's like I always said, love is grand, divorce is $100 grand.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a little weird.
Warner
Chappell has been squeezing money out of people for a long time, says Michael Donaldson, an attorney who previously worked on a case on behalf of the plaintiffs. He told the Washington Post the song belongs to the American people.
Yeah, damn right.
So they released a statement saying the company is looking at the court's lengthy opinion and considering their options. So, of course, they're going to get greedy over money and try to appeal it, but foo on you.
Who does that?
Damn Warner Brothers.
So this story comes out of Okemeh, Okemeh, like meh. Okemeh, Oklahoma. How's that pronounced? Somebody needs to call in and pronounce it right, please.
Well, give me a book. Right?
Okemeh.
So I will tell you that when like there are days back in the day when a kid wanted to be an athlete. There were days where your father would tie your right hand behind your back and make you throw with your left hand, bat with your left hand, because, believe it or not, Shannon, southpaws for Major League Baseball would be big bucks compared to a right-handed pitcher.
So where are you getting on this topic from?
So I don't know. Tell me.
I haven't even started talking yet. You're already talking about the story.
No, you can. Go ahead.
I just lost all excitedness.
It's called a teaser. You don't look so dejected.
All right.
Just roll with it. You've been doing this long enough. It's called a teaser, for God's sake.
An Oklahoma mom said her 4-year-old son's pre-K teacher forced
Who does that?
See? That's you now.
I'm thirsty. Do we have anything up here? The teacher forced the poor boy to write with his right hand and sent home an article calling left-handedness evil. Evil. Because we're in the 1800s, folks.
Yeah, that's right.
Alicia Sands said that her 4-year-old Zaid.
That's evil. Okay.
I did a cake
You're
last
worried about
week
a
for
left-handed? You're worried about a kid being left-handed when he has a name like Zaid.
Easy. I did a cake last week for a kid named Zaid.
Zaid.
He just started pre-K at Oaks Elementary in Okemeh.
What's his name again?
Zaid. And she noticed last week while he was doing homework that he was using his right hand despite being left-handed. I just asked if there's anything that his teachers ever asked about his hands, and he raised this one and said, "This one's bad."
It's bad hand.
Bad. Sands sent a note to the school with Zaid, and the teacher's response was to send home an article that said left-handedness is unlucky, evil, and sinister. How about a part of the human race, lady? For example, the devil is often portrayed as left-handed, the article said. The devil, because we know that, because a lot of people have seen the devil and just wrote.
He kind of resembles the devil, if he looked like, right? Big horns, no?
I don't know. But the response from the teacher just shocked her. It breaks my heart for him because he's someone who actually believes that. Like, my child believes that he's evil because he's left-handed. It's crazy.
No, really?
She's contacted the superintendent with the article in hand, but there was no action taken. There was no suspension of any kind towards his teacher. It was basically nothing. She told him that she thought that the woman needed literature on it.
Really? They're going to correct the mom? They're going to tell the mom to go home and study on your evil kid?
Because you're living in the 1800s.
And study how your kid is evil? How dare you send this evil Zaid?
They're trying to get poor Zaid transferred to another class. The principal said officials are investigating the matter and declined to comment. Left-handedness, while not a trait unique to humans, has been linked to conditions that some might consider unlucky. Studies in recent years have suggested that left-handed women are at increased risk for breast cancer, and adults who are left-handed may be prone to mental illness. A study from December of last year indicated left-handed people in the U.S. workforce make up 12% less money than right-handed people.
Really?
How is that possible?
Wow.
I mean, who knows how much,
it's one of those
when I'm interviewing people, I don't ask them if they're right-handed or
right-handed or left-handed.
So bizarre.
Are you married? What's your job history?
And Robin says her son is left-handed.
Okay, all right, I get you.
Who does that?
All right, so Jeff, we have a book to give away.
Well, first of all, hold on. Obscure reference? Our president is left-handed.
He's mentally ill.
What are the characteristics now of left-handed people again? Evil, mentally ill, and don't make as much money as the rest of us? What is it?
12%.
And there's your sign, folks. All right. So we do have some stuff to give away, Shane. We got a couple of books to give away. What do you want to do, Kate?
We're going to have a quick little call-in. I'm going to put you all on the spot. I'm about to post as well as say the call-in number.
Okay.
The first person to call in... Hold on, I'm posting the call-in number. First person to call in and sing about how much you love us wins a copy of this book, Skeletons in the Swimming Hole, Tales from Haunted Disney World by Christy Peterson Schoonover. We have a caller.
That didn't take long.
I'm interested.
All right, you're on with Jeff and Shannon. Start singing.
We love you, love you, love you. We love you so very much. We love you, love you, love you. It's Robin and hi.
Oh, we love you too.
That's awesome. I thought
that's the best I could do for you. I'm sorry.
I knew we were going to get something like Elf, like and we're singing and we love you and we're singing.
We're singing.
Oh, I should have done that. That was much better.
Robin, you win a copy of Christy Peterson Schoonover's book, Skeletons in the Swimming Hole for Logan. We will send it out to you. We do need your address, please, in order for us to pop that in the mail. And, Jeff, we do have another copy.
You don't have my address, really?
Well, if I did say that I knew your address, it'd be a little bit biased on the air here. So let's pretend that I need your address again, okay?
Sure, I'll send you my address.
However, people, we do have a genuine copy to give away if somebody wants to not cheat and win it. So, Jeff, why don't you...
So you have the condom wrap copy.
Hey, I didn't cheat. I called just like everybody else.
I know you did.
That's right.
You actually were. You're fine. I'm just joking. Jeffrey, what do you think? Should we take another caller? Should we take another caller?
Sure. All
right.
Let's try it. Let's take another caller. Okay.
All right. So
Bye,
the second.
guys.
Bye, Robin. Love you.
Tremendous job.
Love
Writing
you.
key.
Bye, Logan.
See ya.
Anybody wants to call in 323-902-6661 and just sing for like 1 second and tell us you love us.
All right. You're on with Jeff and Shannon. Start singing.
Hey.
Are you singing?
Sorry, I missed the show. I just saw you catch the end of the show.
Well, you better start singing.
You're about to win something.
You're about to win something. You got to start singing.
Wow.
You got to sing about how much you love us.
Give me 3 steps this, give me 3 steps towards the goal.
You got to say you love us and how much.
You got to sing how much
you
you
win a
love
free
us.
book.
You. You know I love you.
All right. Who is this?
All right. I think we have
This
from
is
the
Roger
904.
Dale Snyder.
Hey,
Facebook.
Roger.
Roger Dale Snyder. Roger, you win a book just in time for Halloween. It's called Skeletons in the Swimming Hole for your half-ass
Yay.
attempt in telling us how much you loved us. We will need your
Oh,
address.
I love you. Love you. Oh, damn, sham cakes. Oh, my gosh. I just my teeth hurt just thinking about that.
Good.
There
They
you
should.
go. There you go.
Make sure on Facebook you just message one of us your address. We'll send the free copy out to you in the next day or two.
All right.
What's going on, Roger Dale? Did you have anything to say?
No, I was trying to get tickets to go. They're free to go see Donald Trump this Saturday here in Jacksonville, Florida.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
We would see you on
So
TV, wouldn't
I
we?
got them. If I can get it printed out somewhere.
There you go.
But yeah, he's going to be here at noon. Here in Jacksonville.
Wow.
I'm pretty jealous because I would love to be part of that audience. It's turned into quite the rodeo.
Yeah. You know, say what you want about Trump. You know, whether you love him or hate him or not, he is making the election interesting. You got to give him that, Shan.
Oh yeah, he's great. Speaks his mind. Sometimes goes a little too far, but don't we all?
He's not told to say anything, and that's pretty obvious. That's for sure. But it's going to be interesting to see how that all unfolds. And as we do that, we are going to step out real quick and take one more break. When we come back, we're going to get into the veterans and how the veterans in this country. There's a sad state of affairs going on for these heroes and how we're treating them. We need to be aware, we need to be advocates, and we need to open our eyes to a couple things, guys. So stick around. You're watching Up for Discussion Live with me and her. We'll be right back.
Ay, 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 ay. I am the frito bandido. Yay! I like fritos corn chips. I love them, I do. I want fritos corn chips. I'll get them from you. Bring it.
All right, welcome back to the program where anything is up for discussion. And Shannon, I want to ask you. Let me ask you something. As a civilian, what do you think about when you talk about fighting for our country? Do you really understand? Do you think you could possibly really understand as a civilian what that is?
Fighting for our country?
Yeah.
As a civilian? I mean, are you asking how I feel about the soldiers fighting overseas?
Well, I'm talking about, like myself sitting here as a civilian. We say it in jest, these people fight for our country, they're heroes. But do we really take time to boil it down to think about, okay, I just got called up, taken out of my job, taken away from my family.
Right.
I'm now armed. I'm now in a dangerous situation, and I'm fighting other human beings, seeing and doing, the most incredible and unspeakable things that can leave a soldier not only physically wounded, but emotionally wounded as well. I mean, do we really give credit where it's due as civilians when we talk about?
I've always thought that. I mean, they're doing things horrific and scary and brave things that none of us are doing. I've always thought that there's a certain special amount of people out there that are willing to do the things that I wouldn't want to do. I like the comforts in my home. I like everything about being here. I do think about that, but me as one small person can only do so much for people that have been out there defending our country. I mean, we all know somebody who's a veteran.
Sure.
You know, we all love somebody. There's most of our grandparents were veterans, or worked for the war, did something. I mean, it's part of our country. It's part of who we are. Well,
when I think of veterans, I think of nothing short of heroes, especially combat veterans, those that have taken up arms and have fought for our freedom, fought for the way of life that we have now. Folks, if you don't think there's war being waged every day, think again. There are those out there trying to change our way of life and things that we love in this country. Always are in a position where others are trying to take from us and do things to us. And, if you don't think that's true, put yourself in the position of those poor families from 9/11 that watched, over 3,000 people perish. Those airplanes were real, those terrorists are real, and those threats are real. And every single day, these heroes are out all over the world defending our freedom and protecting our way of life the way we have it now. They don't get not nearly enough credit, but not only that, I'm going to throw a couple really tough facts at you right now.
Okay.
1 in 4 homeless people in this country is a vet. 1 in 4.
Homeless?
Homeless people
really?
In this country is a vet. That is a sad fact of life right there. 25% of all homeless people in this country is a veteran.
In this country, we'll send aid to other countries for the people.
Well, that's really, another point that I want to bring up too. And we are going to take your calls here in just a second. We spent $156 billion on veterans in the year 2014. Now, that sounds like a lot of money, right? $156 billion? Well, guess what we spent on war in 2014? Just take a guess.
$3 trillion.
$3.8 trillion
That's not that
on
far
war.
off.
So that's roughly almost 30 times what we spend on vets, we spend on war. Okay. Now, here's another one for you. What do you think we spent on illegal aliens in this country? Take a guess.
$1.2 trillion.
No, it's $100 billion. So we spent $156 billion on vets in this country, and we spend almost as much money on illegal aliens that don't belong here in the first place, to the tune of $100 billion. Yeah. That is a very, very sad thing. You hear every day about vets that can't get care. We all went through and know about the VA scandal, and all that embezzled money from these poor veterans. And let's just talk about the physical side of things. You have veterans coming home with their limbs being blown off.
Yep.
You have veterans coming home being disfigured, in horrible accidents that they've been through and physical conditions that they have to deal with.
Psychological is even worse.
Well, we're going to get into that. That's why I want to talk about the physical part of it first. We'll get into the PTSD and all that stuff a little bit later. But just on the physical side of things, there are veterans that need care that can't get it. And it's very, very, very sad. They go to the VA, they're turned away for, a huge length of time. They cannot get timely care for, their injuries, for things that are going on with them.
Dying.
And not to talk, the things that affect them years and years after. Just because you're home, and you're healing doesn't mean that it's a quick heal. These things could take years and years and years. But I do want to go to the phones. I believe we have another caller from the 978. Go ahead. You're on with Jeff and Shannon. Hello.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Shannon. It's Chuck. How you doing?
Sergeant Losi, thank you so much for calling. And speaking of veterans, Sergeant Losi has done how many tours overseas?
I did a total of 3.
Wow, 3 tours overseas. And as a veteran, where do you stand on this issue of vets getting, care, physical care, as far as, getting the help that they need from the VAs and the hospitals and getting, the care like the rest of us?
Right now, the way I'm looking at this, it's saddening. It's an atrocity. After I came home from Iraq, I went to the VA and started seeing a counselor for PTSD. And after my 3rd visit there, was shortly turned away, and I haven't been back to one since. And since then I've been to Afghanistan, but seeing these illegal immigrants getting taken care of as much as they are, as opposed to veterans, even the homeless veterans, it's bad. It's a sad state of affairs that the government is even turning their backs on us. Like, we are truly disposable heroes, unfortunately, and it's absolutely disgusting how they treat us.
Let me ask you, how does it affect you and the guys that you're out there with, your comrades? How does it affect you psychologically, knowing that you're fighting for a country that, is not taking care of you when you get home? What kind of impact do you think that has?
It definitely does take a psychological toll on you, because most of us that are returning have those mental health issues that need to be addressed. Like you were saying earlier, most of the troops over there were National Guardsmen, so we were just taking up, we took up our call to arms to leave our jobs, leave our families, our everyday life, to go over, and we're thrown in, a middle of a hell that you can only imagine. And it does take a toll on you when we come back knowing that it's frustrating, because you're putting in your claims to get help with the VA, and it's taken anywhere from 6 months to a year to even be seen for your first visit.
Wow.
After you put your claim in.
That's shocking. That really is shocking. And who to think in this day and age that that's actually even a possibility? I mean, and when you talk about, you say it so casually, but, the unspeakable things that you see and have to deal with out there are things that none of us as civilians can even really fathom when it comes to, not only engaging physically and your bodies and what it's done and taken its toll, but as you mentioned previously, the psychological effect and damage that it has coming home. And with just a few minutes left here, as Shannon alluded to, I want to get into the PTSD part of it, because a lot of soldiers, a lot of men and women coming home are afraid to ask for that help to begin with, never mind trying to get it when they need it. I mean, that's a double-edged sword. At least, God forbid, if you have something that's wrong with your arm, if your arm's broken, you go to the doctor and you identify a problem, and it's horrible to get the care for your broken arm. But imagine that now twofold with, trying to get a soldier help for an emotional condition that he's even afraid to come out with, never mind get the help for it. Do you find that to be the case, Chuck, with soldiers out there and how they're affected emotionally?
Very much so, Jeff. When you come home, you think you're going to get taken care of, but like I said, it's anywhere from 6 months to a year to be seen. If you're having those issues when you're suffering from PTSD, what's going to happen? You're just going to be a statistic, as the 22 veterans that commit suicide every day. They need the help right away, and they're not giving it to it. After I came back from Afghanistan, I had issues, and I didn't go to the VA. I went right to a civilian psychiatrist, and a therapist, and I've been talking to her for almost 2 years, which I'm getting the help that I needed right away, knowing that not going to the VA. You know what I mean? I could have gone to the VA and put in a claim, and they could have, said, okay, he's got the disability at, like 70%, so I could be, 70% disabled with my PTSD or whatever. But I decided not to go that route, and now I've been seeing her now, like I said, for the past year, and it helps. It does help. It helps when other veterans talk. The biggest thing that I saw that I experienced when I came back from Iraq is I met a good friend of mine who I work with, and we were both over at the same time. He was a Marine, and I was a National Guardsman, and we talked to each other. That was the biggest thing that you can do. So, if any vets are out there that listen and talk to one another, it's the best therapy ever.
Yeah,
that's a good point. With just a few minutes left here, I do want to bring in a couple of things here that you can do to help. There is a hotline, 877-4AID-VET. If you know a vet that's homeless, or you see somebody that's a vet that's homeless, or you know a vet that needs help, there are lines and help, situations out there. There's a local group here, Shannon, called Vet Together, which is run by a friend, John Churcher, and it's a tremendous idea for these guys. They get veterans together, which is just the play on words, vet together. They get together, and they bring them out to breakfast. They bring them out to baseball games. They bring them out to different functions. And I was fortunate enough. I'm not a vet. I was a civilian, but I was fortunate enough to cover and be friends with and be invited to one of these cookouts. And Shannon, you saw.
You had a great time.
I not only had a great time, but I came home, very emotional. Yep. I mean, every single person that I met there individually was an absolute hero. And the sacrifices that not only people like you, Sergeant Losi, these folks that I've met, and everybody that's out there, every vet is somebody's hero, and Mike Cooley says that so eloquently, and it's so true because there's such a sacrifice that is made. Not only leaving your families and your jobs and your loved ones and being, try being away from home for a week under good conditions, going on the road and working your job. Now imagine it being in hell, as Sergeant Losi talked about it earlier. And being away from the people you love is hard enough. Never mind what you see, what could potentially happen to you, and the injuries that these guys, abstained while they were there were just, they were mind-boggling, and they all would do it again. In a second, they would all go back and do it again, and that to me, is courage and a true hero. So again, if you do know somebody that's in trouble, let's get the vets all the help that we possibly can. Do your part, folks. If you see one walking, through McDonald's, buy him a coffee. Do something nice for him. And God bless if you see a homeless vet out there, get him some food, get him some help, make the phone call, see what you can do. Because as Chuck said it, and I've heard that, from more than one vet out there, it's kind of a race to the finish line when it comes to getting these guys help. A lot of these guys can't wait that long. What they've dealt with won't wait that long. They need help now, not 2 months from now. Yep. So let's do our part, and let's be aware. Let's make some real awareness and advocacy for this subject, and let's take care of our vets, because every vet is somebody's hero, Shannon, and we never want to forget the vet.
Chuck, we will take care of you. We'll buy your next beer next time you're around.
There we go. I would always love, so Shannon, you know me. Every time I see somebody in uniform, I walk up and thank them for their service to our country.
I'm always thinking of it, but I don't have the balls that you do.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure, I know they appreciate it, and I know that everything we can do to help, it means a lot to them because of the sacrifices that they made. A little thank you along the way when they're getting stuffed up their ass, by the government, I'm sure goes a long way. But that's going to do it for us this week, my dear. And on behalf of my co-host Shannon and the rest of the crew here at Up for Discussion, we want to thank you for watching. And please, every vet is somebody's hero, in the words of Mike Cooley. Happy birthday. Don't forget the vet.
Thank you,
We'll
Chuck.
see you next week. You bet. And don't forget, follow us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And don't forget to follow us on YouTube as well. Get all the great shows.
Night, guys.
All right. We'll see you next week.